Hello and welcome to anybody and everybody that's listening. I know it's the Lopez Podcast. Thanks for checking it out. Been some time, been a while. If you're listening to this episode, that means that there are going to be new episodes coming out after it. If you're not listening to this episode, that's because I probably didn't post it and I'm the one listening to it wondering what the fuck's going on. So, what the fuck's going on? I haven't fucking talked to any of you guys ever because I don't know who the fuck you are because you're listening over a fucking phone, probably headphones in your ears. So, this is the N. Lopez Podcast. I haven't done an episode probably since 2020. I think the last episode was the chaos that was the Los Lenny's Loco episode. And to be 100% honest, that was such a fucking shit show to start out with. I mean, right off the bat, we were having problems. It was supposed to be a filmed episode, but like, who the fuck was gonna work the camera? Because everybody was supposed to be on the camera, and then my fucking battery died because I had forgotten to charge it. So the last episode I released was on November 19th, 2020, the day before the Los Lenny's Loco Rap Addiction release. And I think the day that episode released, I was on my way to San Francisco with my co-host from the Let the Freak Speak podcast, Nicholas Bearcat Valenzuela. I was with him on my way to San Francisco. And let me tell you, that fucking ride from Tucson to San Francisco, holy shit, I would never want to do that again in a U-Haul. I didn't drive at all, so call me a shitty friend to take with you moving. That's 2 for 2 now. The first time was whenever I went with Andy, aka Sir Andrick, he flew me up to Fresno because we were gonna drive back the next morning, and he was moving down to Tucson. So what ends up happening is I fly to Fresno and we get fucking wasted. I wake up the next morning fumbling my way to the bathroom in a house that I've been to. That was my first time going to the house. I went there for one day and it wasn't even a full day. I got there. By the time I got to his house, it was probably 3:00 in the afternoon. So I get to Andy's house in Fresno. We just start drinking and stuff, and we get trashed. Completely oblivious to the fact that we have to leave to head back to Tucson at like 5 a.m, maybe 4. I don't know what time we left. Because like I said, I woke up, fumbled my way down a hallway, probably checking through fucking doors of like, hey, is this the fucking bathroom? No, that's Andy's room. Is this the fucking bathroom? No, that's something else. That's a closet. And then I'm like, oh, okay, here's the bathroom. Fucking vomiting, just throwing up. I think I got a towel from someone, or maybe there was a towel left out for me. Either way, I fucking end up taking a shower. Or no, I don't need. So I'm throwing up, and after I throw up, I walk out and Andy's just fucking standing there like, you fucking okay, dude? And I was like, life is fucking rough. Because I was hungover as shit because that whole flight over, the whole day of like flying to Fresno, all I ate was some McDonald's in the morning before my wife dropped me off at the airport. As soon as I got through all these little checkpoints and I found what gate I was at, there was a bar right near it. So what did I do? I went to the fucking bar. I had myself a whiskey, try and calm my nerves. It had been years since I've flown. Anyway, I get out of the shower and it's fucking time for us to leave. Andy's fucking car's not even fully packed, but he's like, fuck it. We're leaving shit here. My parents are moving back down to Arizona. They can fucking get it and bring it down. We leave. We go to this gas station because he needs to put some gas in the fucking tank. and I just fucking I'm throwing up violently, making some. I mean, if there's one thing you need to know about me when I throw up, it is that I make some violently loud, horrific, almost painful sounding noises. And I'm doing that in the trash can. I'm fucking wiping the throw up from my face. My eyes are probably bloodshot red from dryness. And I'm like, yeah, I gotta get myself some fucking Powerade and water. I go into, like, the dude, as soon as I'm walking to the door, I can see the dude just unlocked the bottom locks on the door. So I walk in there. I'm like this first customer of the day, fucking hungover shit, just threw up violently in the trash can outside. And I get myself a fucking Powerade and a water. Powerade and water. That's all I fucking drink the whole trip. I'm like sitting passenger seat talking to Andy, but being one of the worst co-pilots and people to travel with ever. I'm throwing up out the side of his car, all that. Fast forward to me going to San Francisco with Nick. I wasn't hung over or anything. I was just tired as shit, and I was just like, hey, man, if you don't need me to drive, I don't want to. I will gladly be your passenger, but I will not drive if I don't have to. If you can handle driving the whole way, let's fucking do it. So that like fucking 12-hour, whatever hour drive it was so goddamn shitty. There was points on the way to San Francisco when I was just like falling asleep, like just like nodding off and then like snapping, like my head would snap. I'd be like, huh, okay, I'm awake. And then I'd be like, what the fuck was a dream? What the fuck just happened? How long have I been asleep for? What the fuck's going on? So, yeah, just a heads up. Don't ever try and move across the state with me unless it's my plan and I'm running charge on it, because then you won't have me not driving. But if I'm running point, I guess some might say, on it, then sure, I'll fucking I will drive. I will do that for those people. Just kidding. Maybe. I don't know. Does anybody ever even know where I'm going with any of this? I don't. Oh, man. I have a list of things that I want to talk about because the last few times I tried to record podcasts in 2020, some solo podcasts, I just wasn't feeling it. Maybe I just took some much needed time off of talking so that I got some topics to talk about, and maybe I just know how to handle talking by myself now a little bit better. I've been listening to very few podcasts, actually. One of I'm just going to throw a fucking shout out to anybody that's listening to this podcast. Thank you. But you should go check out Isimo Podcast. That's ISIMO Podcast. Fucking 3 funny ass Mexican dudes. And they talk about being Latino in America. And honestly, it's a really fucking good podcast. It's just kind of starting out. So, you know, they're growing. They're growing at a fucking fast pace. You know, they're awesome. They're all comedians. That's a cool podcast. I'm just throwing them out there because I believe that those guys are going to that podcast is going to take off. I know for a fact that podcast is going to take off. I can see it in just the steady growth that I've seen from them. And another show that I've been watching is called Peaked TV, hosted by Frank Castillo and JP Noda. That show is fucking awesome. If you're a smoker, if you like smoking and you just like smoking along with people that are smoking on YouTube or on podcasts or on TV shows, that's a good podcast to watch, or show podcast, whatever you want to call it. Those two are, that's what I've been hitting hard lately in the podcast world. I mean, I can name a bunch of other really popular podcasts, but I feel like those two that I just named are taking off. And I mean, it's awesome as fuck to see that. Fucking A, man. Just been busy trying to figure my life out with work and making music, and Haven't done a podcast in forever. So, well, I mean, I did do a podcast. Also, fuck, dude, I forgot. I forgot to shout out this person. A podcast that I recently was on too. Talking in Cursive with Andy Solis, my friend, one of my best friends. A really good podcast. And he takes the time and he puts in a lot of good production value into his thing. I mean, his episodes look fucking crazy. The cuts, the fucking pictures that he cuts to, the whole editing, it's fucking dope. It's a dope podcast. I believe you can only find it on YouTube right now. By the time this episode airs, because like I said, if you're listening to this episode, that means that I'm probably going to have other guests on, and this is just a filler episode. So by the time you listen to this, maybe Talking in Cursive will be available on all platforms. But as for the moment, Talking in Cursive is only available on YouTube. There's 2 episodes, one with me, the fucking fat tank that I am, and then another one with professional bull rider Armando Rodriguez. And that's a really good episode as well. It gets a little crazy, but I mean, that's fucking Andy Solis. If anybody that's listening knows who that motherfucker is. If you don't, fucking check out Talking in Cursive with Andy Solis, and listen to his rap music, because that will just fucking send you to a different plane. Speaking of music, I'm in the process at this moment in time on fucking August 19th, 2021. I am in the process of editing a Sucker for the Sour music video, and I'm going to be, well, I shot the music video. We did shoots for the music video, and then we did reshoots for the music video. So there's going to be a music video for Sucker for the Sour song Reaper coming out soon that I shot. Not the highest quality videos. Like, you know me, I don't have a lot of time and money to put into making videos right now. That sounds so shitty. It sounds like I'm such a piece of shit, like a fucking lazy motherfucker. I do have time and effort that I put into music videos. This one was kind of just like, I guess to say, it was last minute for the most part. It was like, hey, can you come to this party and we'll shoot some clips for the music video? And it was a cool as fuck party. It was for Sucker for the Sours, the guitar player, Garrett, fan of this podcast. He's been on here plenty of times. If you haven't listened to his 2 episodes, go back and listen to them. Super good episodes. So Garrett invited me to go film at this party that he was throwing for his girlfriend's birthday. And, you know, it was a good party. Me and Efren walked in, and there was a bunch of people there. And for the most part, I'm not used to walking into parties thrown by people around my age who, you know, we walked in, there was like a fucking table full of snacks. There was just food, a bunch of drinks, and it was like, holy shit, these people are adults. Are we in an adult party? Because that's what it felt like. I mean, it was an adult party, obviously, but it just felt like, you know, this ain't your usual party. There's not going to be a bunch of fucking little teenagers here trying to get a fucking beer because they can't go buy beer themselves. This is an adult party. Sorry, little kids. Fucking. So we get there, you know, there's all that. There's a lot of people there. It's just like, it's a very friendly environment. We start, I just start talking to Garrett, and we're like, okay, so how are we going to shoot this video? We went into like their jam space at his house, and we rearranged everything, kind of made it more, like a venue-ish, because the room they jam in is extremely long for some reason, and I think it might have been a carport. But so we set it up, we put them towards the back of the room, and then like a bunch of like all of the guests of the house came into the fucking room, and it was super packed in that room, and it felt like, you know, it just felt like we were at a show, because like I haven't been to any shows. At that time, I hadn't been to any shows since you know, everything shut down in 2020. So I I'm looking around at everybody and I'm just like, damn, this feels like I'm at a fucking show. And I'm holding my camera with like my setup and my camera light and stuff. And I'm getting, I'm trying to get as much footage as I can. And I wasn't being so much of a director. I was kind of being very timid, and I was just going with the flow. I wasn't being like, hey, we need to get shots. We need to just continuously play the song over and over again so I can get multiple shots of you guys playing the song. So what ended up happening was they ended up just like they played the song, I think once, that we were shooting the music video for. And then they just played like a whole set. And I was filming majority of it. But then at one point I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to fucking enjoy like the set. There were people fucking like not moshing, but I guess rude boying. I don't know what fucking ska punks or whatever call like fucking doing that dance type move in the fucking middle of the crowd. But, people were getting down, dude. Like, Sucker for the Sour is a fucking awesome band, and if you don't listen to them, that's another great Tucson musician, or some Tucson musicians that are fucking, dope as shit. So anyway, I get those shots as much as I can. My camera ends up dying, and I'm just kind of like, what the fuck? What am I gonna like? Then I finally get to like a week or so pass before I even pull my camera out and put the footage somewhere. And I'm putting the footage there, and I'm looking at my camera, and I'm like, how the fuck did it get so goddamn sticky? Someone had spilled a drink on my fucking camera. And I don't even remember that. I wasn't even drinking. Like, I drank maybe 1 or 2 drinks at that party. Just fucking sober majority of the time. Pretty much the whole fucking time, honestly. And I'm like, who the fuck took my camera and got fucking like spilt drinks on it? So like that was a mystery for me. My fucking SD card was all sticky. It's just like, what the fuck's going on with my fucking SD card? So I'm going through the footage, and I can't hear anything. Can't hear a lick of a note that fucking Sucker for the Sour is playing whatsoever, because it was so loud in that room, and I didn't have an external microphone attached to my fucking camera. So everything is just sounds blown, and I can't fucking tell what parts are what. So I'm kind of just like trying to go from the beginning when I'm editing it. And I'm just like, dude, I'm going to have to get fucking reshoots for this motherfucker. So we ended up doing some reshoots. And I believe the reshoots came out really well. That time I became more of a director. I was like, okay, hey, we're going to get bass and drum shots right now. We're going to play through the song maybe twice for you guys. Going to get a fucking a zoomed out shot with everybody in it. We're going to get close-ups, shit like that. And so now I'm just in the process of getting ready to edit it together. So be on the lookout for Sucker for the Sour's Reaper. It might already be out by the time this episode drops. It might be out. I hope it's not, because then I hope I can, interview someone from Sucker for the Sour and promote that with the podcast, because I'm trying to get back into it. I know I say that every single fucking episode. I'm like, I'm going to get back into it, I swear. But no, if you're listening to this episode, that means more episodes are coming, because this episode will be loaded and then another episode will be loaded right after it. So at least you will get 1, 2, or 3 weeks full of content before I just fucking shit out again. And then like, okay, well, that's it for that podcast for the next fucking whatever, until he decides to not be so fucking off routine with it. So fuck. I know that I once said that I was going to probably have cameras for this podcast, but I don't think I will. And I might have said that in no, I didn't, because the last podcast, I said it in a podcast that I never posted, one that's just floating around in my hard drive somewhere. I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to take the time and I'm going to make this podcast a video podcast. I'm going to, do that. But I heard someone in another podcast talking about, they were just like, are you, they're like, do you have video for this? And he's like, nope, audio only. And I dig that. I know that that's that's not even a good fucking description of why I'm going to be audio only, just because some other person was just like, no, audio only. The reason why is because just you don't need to watch everything. Sometimes you can just listen. This could be a show for you to listen to while you're doing nothing. And maybe if you're doing nothing while you're watching this show, do something. And I fucking said that all wrong. I was going to say, this is a show that you can listen to while you're doing something. And if you're listening to it while you're doing nothing, well, then maybe you can do something. Maybe that something is creative. Maybe it's more positive. Maybe it's, something that's not going to be nothing. Because I know better than a lot of people that doing something and then making nothing of it is pretty shitty. Like, I have hours of stuff that is never going to see the light of day, and I made it for it to see the light of day, but I was dissatisfied with it. So then it's just like, why the fuck did I even make this? I don't know where I was going with that fucking with that little ramble right there, but I'm gonna take it back to music. My band TOYLIT, we've played 2 shows since, like, after a year of not playing. It was like a year and a couple months. And I'm going to be 100% honest with you. It felt fucking fantastic. We played at our usual spot, Edge Bar. And I don't know if it's because, like, maybe that whole shutdown was a wake-up scene. It kind of seemed like it. A wake-up scene to the music scene. A wake-up scene. Fuck me, huh? It seemed like a wake-up call to the music scene, because it's like, hey, man, we don't know if, if places are going to recover from the shutdown. It's like, we don't know how normal things are going to get. And for the most part, things felt pretty normal. I know that at this moment in time, I've already said the date. So if you want to fucking figure out what day I'm talking about, things are getting weird again. Things might shut back down. Hopefully not. Hopefully we can just fucking prevail. And because I'll be bummed. I'll be super fucking bummed if we have to go another year without playing shows. If that happened, I think we would probably just end up really buckling down on recording music. We have plans to go back to Clarity Recordings in San Diego. We're going to be going in November to record 2 songs, and I'm beyond excited. I fucking love going to Clarity Recordings. If you don't, check them out on Instagram at Clarity Recordings. The engineer's name is Sean Tolley. He's super fucking awesome dude. He's good. He's super fucking good at what he does. That's why we go record with him, because he's really good at fucking recording. He's really good at mixing, and he's the one that did our last EP, The Real American Zero. And I mean, the production of it is just really high quality. I enjoy it. I mean, I think it's really great quality. You might think it sounds like shit, but that's not the quality of the song. That's my voice. My voice sounds like shit. To be honest with you, whenever I was recording the vocals for, and I'm sure I talked about this in another podcast, but whatever. When I was recording the vocals for The Real American Zero, it was a trip to California I took by myself. Not by myself. It was just me and my wife, but like, I was by myself without anyone from the band. I didn't have any input on like how the take sounded from someone that had listened to the song 1,000 times with me. I didn't get to hear anybody else in the band's like opinion on what it sounded like until they heard, like the tracks that were sent, the mixes that were sent to us. Sorry. And I don't know. Maybe there was a part of me that just wanted to get the fuck home the second day. I don't even I just tried to push him out, and I think I was just nervous. Like, I wasn't confident in myself, which is weird because like at that point it was going on like 8 years of making music and like maybe 6 years of recording music. So it's like, why the fuck wasn't I so comfortable playing those songs, like singing them? Because I was worried about being off pitch and being off key, and I didn't want to be told to try and hit a specific key and not be able to do it in my own song. So what I did in turn because of that was I just ended up almost like yelling my lyrics for like, that was 5 songs. And some of it sounds like it belongs there. If you listen to any of the songs from the Real American Zero when we play them live, they don't really sound like the recordings. The choruses might, but I mean, now I know how to sing them properly. I've tuned into those songs and I've gotten them down, which, maybe I should have done prior to fucking recording them. Maybe that's what I thought. Maybe I thought I had them in, and maybe I just had that mental block whenever I was there by myself because I didn't have, my other bandmates to look to for comfort and guidance and reflection. And, I really feel like I kind of messed up that EP. There was a lot of money we spent on that first recording. A lot of people like it, which, makes me happy. And it makes me feel like I'm not a piece of shit because the drums on that album are super good, or EP, whatever. They're super good. The guitar and the bass that Carlos recorded are amazing. But I mean, like, the vocals, it's just like it fits sometimes. It works sometimes, but there are parts when I should have been singing, but I wasn't. And there was some, like, when we released it, some company reached out to us and was just like, hey, we do music reviews. Do you want to have like we can do a music review for you, like $20, and, we'll post it on our website. We'll blast it on our social media, whatever, like that. So we did that. And I wish I could find the fucking review because, I mean, the vocals were probably one of the critiquing points. It was just like, oh, okay. So, yeah, that's what was wrong with it. It was my voice. It was my vocals. It was because I was yelling when some parts needed a softer side. And honestly, it was just because I was just nervous and I didn't fucking know how to do it alone. But I mean, now we're going to go get these 2 songs, hopefully knock them the fuck out in 2 days. If we don't, I'm going to be a little bit bummed out. But we've been working hard on making some new music with TOYLIT, and we have just a handful of like acoustic demos that me and Carlos made over the pandemic. We're working right now on getting some rough demos before we hit the studio, just so that we have some solid reference of like what we can work on, what we can tweak, what we can adjust, and what we can like add, what can be added to give it more production value. Because with the Real American Zero, we kind of went in there and we were just like, we kind of wanted to give it a raw sound because we weren't used to like heavy editing, a lot of effects and stuff like that. So the Real American Zero is pretty much what you see is what you get. These next songs that we're recording, I mean, like, we've played them live plenty of times. But whenever you listen to it, like when we record it and whenever you listen to that final recording, whenever we get it done, I want it to be like, holy shit, that song became this song? It's like, that's fucking amazing. And that's probably what every musician strives to do. I mean, they want to make something that someone recognizes, probably. There are people like me that will say, I like making things because they make me happy. And I do. I genuinely am my biggest fan. I like the stuff that I make sometimes. Sometimes I hate the shit that I make. And like I said, if I don't like the things that I make, most of the time I probably won't put it out in the world. But when I'm making those things, there's a part of me that really wants to but, see what other people think of it. I want other people to take something from it. And I maybe want other people to relate to the way I'm feeling and maybe feel, probably not so much with me, but if they could feel like there was just a connection, then I'm sure every artist wants that. They want to make a connection with someone through their art, through their creation. I've been inspired by so many things. I would love to know that something that I did affected someone as much as something that has affected me, that I was inspired by. Because there are things that have made me start podcasting. There was something that made me start fucking making music. Someone made something that hit me so hard that I was like, I have to do this, because I want to see if I can create something so great like this person that it will benefit or maybe possibly even give them a meaning in their life. Because, there are things that have pulled me out of deep depressions, and I cherish those creations of artists because of what they did for me. We put meaning on things that other people create. And I think it would be awesome to have something that you put out in the world and then someone else being like, hey, I just want you to know that what you did means a lot to me. And I believe everybody probably wants to do that, but I don't know. I don't know how to end that part. I'm going to take a quick little break. A quick little break, right? I've only been doing this for fucking 30 minutes. I'm just going to take a quick break because my cat keeps fucking clawing at my office door. So I'm going to play a Sucker for the Sour song for you. And you can enjoy it. And you can enjoy it or you can fucking hate it. This is Ocean Views.
Tomorrow isn't vain if we live in the same. Let's break the flag, cause baby down the door game. We can lay our heads in the sand for a bit, everything we know and everywhere we've been. I had ocean views in my eyes. Top now screaming in the blue sky. I'll do anything just to get it right. I'll do anything just to get it right. That yo, right that yo. I'll be gone with the wind, and I don't know when I'll be coming round again. We can make plans to break for the day. We can take the day and see what we can make. Summertime and I can miss you and I, floating on the cloud that we built by design. Never south side, you're up on my TMI. Who says when the day survives tonight? I had ocean views in my eyes. Drops up down screaming in the blue sky. I'll do anything just to get it right. I'll do anything just to get it right now, yo. Right now, yo.
That was Ocean Views by Sucker for This Hour. Those motherfuckers are awesome. Like I said, I was talking about them earlier. I already said enough about them, and I just kind of cheated in my podcast by adding that song just so that I could take a break to get my cat to stop fucking with my door. That is a constant theme in the Oracle office. And by the Oracle office, I mean my home office, where my cat will constantly claw because it wants to get in here. But that's nor here nor there. I'm back in the podcast now. The song's been played, and I'm here. I'm ready to talk some more. Am I? Am I really ready to talk some more? Yeah, I guess I can talk. What am I going to talk about? I've been driving my car with no fucking AC. That shit is rough. Anybody in Arizona, and everybody that's listening, probably because you're from Arizona, more than likely, you know that if you don't have AC in your car in Arizona, it fucking sucks during the summer. And I'll tell you this much, it's been a good monsoon season. It's rained so much. Everything's nice and green around here. Awesome. I love it. It's great to see that we're getting rain. It sucks because it's fucking humid as shit. Everything in my house is wet sometimes. All I have is a swamp cooler. There will be moments when I get home and I take my shoes off and I'm walking around and I'm touching things. I'm touching pieces of paper and I'm like, this feels like it has like a gram of water in it. And I know a gram of water doesn't seem like a lot, but for a fucking piece of paper, that's a lot of fucking moisture. So I'm dealing with moisture everywhere, but then I'm sweating my fucking ass off when I'm driving somewhere because I have no AC in my car. And that's a real fucking bitch to not have AC. What a fucking nightmare. I'd rather get stabbed by Jason, Freddy, or Michael Jackson. Yeah, that's that. I mean, fucking no AC, that sucks. That's a bitch. But what can you do besides fix your AC or buy a new car? Am I going to do either of those? I guess you'll find out in another episode. Yeah, that's that. I went to my first burlesque show the other night. My wife and two other couples, we went with two other couples, and it was at this oddities shop. So I think Woolly something. I guess I could look it up to shout them out. I guess I shout them out because I don't know how great I'm going to be talking about them. So I don't want to be like fucking ripping on them. I'll give them the benefit of doubt. The place is called Woolly Fern. It is an oddity shop in Tucson on Speedway. So they were hosting a Friday the 13th. That's the day I went. A Friday the 13th burlesque show. And, you know, my wife's friends, I guess my friends, our friends wanted to go check it out. And we went and checked it out. We walk in, you know, it was $20. I'm expecting, you know, a lot because I hear burlesque is like very, you know, burlesque is supposed to be really artistic for the most part. It's not chicks clapping their ass to wobble baby, wobble baby, wobble baby. It's like, you know, an art form, or it was an art form back in the day. Maybe not so much nowadays. It was an exotic, erotic art form. And so, you know, I was expecting at least a stage or a stage-like area. We pay our $20. The show hasn't started yet, but there's a circle of chairs that looks like an AA meeting almost. And it's just like, okay, I guess this is where people are sitting. By the time we get there, we pay for our ticket, we go back outside, and, you know, our friends are smoking. We come back inside, the show's about to start. All of the chairs are full. They're just like, we don't got any more chairs. So I had to fucking stand behind some couple with my wife and our friends. And it was interesting. The women danced very well. But the environment of which they were dancing was strange. It felt like, to quote my wife and our friends, we were in Target because of the lighting. They dimmed the lights on the first dancer, but then they were like, "Hey, can we turn the lights back on, please?" So then they turn on these fucking fluorescent workshop lights. And it's just like, dude, come on. And so people are, the dancers are dancing in the middle, which is cool as fuck. They danced really well. Some of the songs were awesome. There was one that I didn't really care for. But, for the most part, all of the dancers danced really well. And it was cool. And it was, it was nice. But the environment of the show was just strange because, you're looking at other people too. You're like, the dancer that you're looking at is dancing, but then they move a little bit and then you catch a glimpse of this other person that has this big weird smile on their face. Or maybe you catch a glimpse of the old man that's trying to hide his erection. And it's just kind of like, this doesn't seem like the place that burlesque shows happen at. And it was burlesque for less, $20. I mean, what can I fucking say? That's all I can say about it. After that, we went to a bar and we had to deal with fucking drunk people. Motherfuckers that were just, it was all right at first. We got there and we went outside and it was pretty packed for the most part. People are trying to go back to normal, even though, just people are trying to go back to normal. They're trying to be like, hey, man, we missed out on fucking socializing, so we're going to socialize. We're sitting outside at the back of the bar on the patio, and I'm just listening to these conversations that are going off. And I see these two chicks and this one dude, and they're all super like thin for the most part, wearing black. I think all of them are wearing eyeliner. Their hair is probably teased a little bit, maybe. The cut of it is strange. Not strange. The cut of it's not strange, but it's very mid 2000s alt rock scene. And so I'm just like listening over to that, and I don't know what the fuck that conversation was going off about. I think they were talking about meth at one point. They were talking about dealers. I could not fucking tell you. And it was just like strange. I think at one point I saw that dude stole someone's cigarettes that they left. Not stole, because he gave them back. But like, so the whole interaction was like, they were sitting at this one table, those three. And like, there was a bigger group sitting at this bigger table. The three left and then ended up coming back outside. And when they came back outside, that bigger table was empty. So they go back and they're sitting at this fucking empty table. And I'm just, I'm bored because I fucking don't care for being at bars. And so I'm sitting at this table just like listening to conversations of other people just to fucking not be bored. And I fucking look over and this bigger dude walks up and he's just like, there's some kind of altercation going on. I can't hear it 100%. And all I see is this dude reach into his pocket, pull out a pack of cigarettes, and then give it back to the big dude that's hunching over him and apologizing. And I'm just like, well, that's interesting. Maybe he left the cigarettes at the table. And at that point, I guess now I'm questioning who's in the wrong here. No one, because, I mean, if you leave your cigarettes at a fucking table at a bar, don't be fucking shocked if they get fucking stolen. You're at a fucking bar. You left your cigarettes. That's your fault, honestly. The guy was very nice in giving them back and apologizing. Probably worried that he was going to get his fucking teeth beat in by this fucking big dude that probably had too many Budweisers. And then, from there, our group ended up going inside playing pool. And then just like a group of probably early 30s people, maybe fucking late 20s. I don't want to say late 20s though, because I'm getting towards my late 20s. I'm in my mid 20s right now. And if that's how bad I look by my late 20s, I'll probably fucking look worse, because I look 10 years older than the age I am. So like this loud and large group of late 20s, probably early mid 30s people come in, and they're just being fucking wasted. Like, you can tell they're drunk. They're having a good time. I'll give them that. They were genuinely enjoying themselves. So hurrah for living a good life. But that doesn't mean that I'm fucking happy for you. Because I don't give a shit about your fucking drunk antics and how loud you fucking talk. Because I don't want to hear how loud you fucking talk. And I don't care about what you're fucking talking about. And, you just see people trying. I'm married, so I don't go to a bar looking for love. But I saw that night. I saw dudes trying their hardest to just throw a fucking line out there, try and pull something back in, but they didn't. They couldn't. A lot of them couldn't. The most that I saw was like my wife went to the bathroom, and like immediately after she got into the bathroom, like a minute after maybe, this fucking drunk lady comes up and just starts fucking pounding on the door. And she's just like, this is fucking ridiculous. They've been in there forever. And she's just knocking on the door. She's just like, come on. She's just fucking standing there very impatiently. And I'm just like, me and our friends are just trying to be like, hey, there's another bathroom in this bar. You just got to walk on the opposite side of the bar. And she's just like, I'm not going outside. This is fucking stupid. And, she keeps pounding on the door. Some bigger dude comes, because this dude probably also has to fucking rock a piss. So then they start talking, because they're both stupid, and they don't realize that there's another open bathroom right next to them. But they don't realize that, because they don't fucking check. So then she's just like, they've been in there for fucking ever. And then that guy's probably just thinking, you know what? If I knock on this door and get those motherfuckers to get out of there, and if they're dudes, maybe I'll fucking try and get tough with them. Maybe she'll fucking look at me and be like, you're the fucking hero that I need. I'm going to leave this bar with you tonight, fall in love with you, and we're going to get married in Alaska. Dude, it's happening. So then this dude starts fucking knocking on the door. He's just like, come on, get the fuck out of there. So my wife walks out, and she's just fucking pissed. So she's mean mugging this bitch. And she's not a bitch. She mean mugs this lady. And the lady just looks down, a little scared. And then the dude's just like, it's like, yeah, dude, I'm just trying to fucking go to the bathroom. And I'm just like, dude, there is a bathroom right next to you. And he's just like, oh, all right. I'm just like, dude, you gotta be fucking kidding me, man. It's like, these people are stupid. They get a couple fucking Budweisers in them, and they can't handle their own. They're trying to, like I said, they're casting out their fucking bait. They're throwing out their hooks. They're trying to get some fucking something, reel it in, trying to get some tailfish or something. And it's not working for them. And they will act like a fool, and they will say stupid shit, and they will try and be tough. And one can only hope that a bigger fish will come along and beat the shit out of those people. Not because they're trying to get laid or just trying to find love. If you're trying to find love at a bar, it's a little strange, but hey, it might happen for you. But, the only reason I would want you to get beat up for shooting your shot, I guess, would be if when you shoot your shot, you're a fucking asshole about it. Or you do something obnoxious or stupid or extremely pandering to one type of person that eventually doesn't give you the light of day. Then I'm like, I kind of hope you get your ass kicked. Okay, maybe not for like the girl that doesn't give you the time of day. Well, no. So here's the example. If my wife wasn't in the bathroom and it was a big dude and he walked out and he was just like, what the fuck do you want? And then he's just like, I'm just trying to go to the fucking bathroom. Or maybe he got tough. He's just like, dude, you need to get the fuck out of the bathroom. She's trying to go to the bathroom. And then that big dude that was in the bathroom was just like, fuck you, dude. You trying to fucking fight about it? And then he gets his ass kicked. That's the kind of poetic justice I like to see. Sure, I feel bad for the guy that just got his ass kicked because he was only trying to impress a girl. That sucks. But know your limits. Don't overdo it. Fucking stop drinking so much goddamn Budweisers. Switch to fucking Leinenkugel. Or something. Drink something, okay? Okay. Stop drinking your fucking Budweisers at the bar and getting too drunk to where you have to pound on doors while women are in there for other women and being like, get the fuck out of the bathroom. I'm just trying to go to the bathroom even though there's an open one next to me. Fuck you. So there was that. That was one of the instances. And then another instance was this girl that was watching a couple of our friends. They were a couple. They were kissing. And this drunk girl who was going to the bathroom to do some coke. Ironically, we were just kind of sitting by the we were playing air hockey, which was stationed by the bathroom. So we're just sitting there, and I watched this girl get handed the coke and get handed the keys. She's standing in the hall waiting to go into the bathroom, and she looks at me, and then she's just like, this is so awkward, isn't it? And then she walks out and, sees me and our friends sitting on the couch, and the friends that are sitting with me on the couch are in a relationship, and maybe they gave themselves a kiss or something, but the drunk chick's just like, you guys are so hot, oh my god, I'm so wet. And I was just sitting there like, I fucking hate people. It's like, what? Why would that be your opening line if you were sober? I mean, obviously this chick's drunk. She's about to go do some coke in the bathroom at a bar. Of course, right? She's trying to level herself out. So she's just like, fucking kiss each other. Let me see you guys kiss each other again. Oh, it's so hot. And they do it. And then the drunk chick's just like, oh my god, I'm so wet. It's so hot. Can I kiss you guys? And she's just trying to kiss them both. And it's like, what the fuck is going on? I mean, props to the drunk chick that thought that was appropriate behavior. I mean, I know that if it was a dude, it would be like, someone fucking beat the shit out of this dude that just asked if they can kiss me and my partner. Like, what the fuck? Unless they were really cool about it, which this chick, in my opinion, was not. She was super drunk about it and was just like, oh my god, you guys are so hot. I'm so fucking wet. Can I kiss you guys too? And it was just like, dude, I fucking hate going to bars. I don't have fun at them. I like the environment. The people of bars is what interests me. But if I know that I have to drive home later, or I somewhat can't get obliterated out of my mind, then a bar is the worst place for me to be, because then I'm just going to sit there like a grumpy old man and be like, yeah, I got to go somewhere else before I can get comfortably drunk, because drinking and driving, it's not smart. I mean, I don't want to get all preachy towards the end of this episode, but, drinking and driving, it's stupid. I've learned to stop doing it because I don't want to risk hurting anybody, but most importantly, I don't want to have a guilty conscience of killing someone who didn't deserve to die in a vehicle. By a vehicle, I don't want to kill someone that doesn't deserve to die. I don't want to kill anybody. First off, I don't want to kill anybody. But I don't want to make the mistake of driving drunk and killing somebody. I don't want to have that on my conscience. And I don't want to have to deal with that legally. Because, let's just be honest. That's jail time. Just fucking lock me up, put it in my butt. That's what they'll do. I'm beautiful. I'm goddamn beautiful. I know this is an audio-only podcast, but you can tell by my fucking voice, I'm goddamn beautiful. Thanks for listening to the Lopez Podcast. And like I said, if you're listening to this episode, it's because there's other episodes coming. So stick around, stay tuned, fucking subscribe, all that shit. For more information, go to 85631.com. That's 85six31.com. You can find all of our podcasts. You can find all of the music that gets put out through 85631 Productions, motherfucker. God damn, that's who we are. That is what this is. Just kidding. I didn't mean to get so fucking strange right there. Thanks for listening to this podcast. Like I said, if you're listening, there's more podcasts coming. So stay tuned or something like that. I don't have a fucking catchphrase. Thanks for listening to the podcast. I'm out.